And today is Earth Day. The world is moving towards sustainability, but we have the gorgeous Rakul Preet Singh. And what we are going to do is, Rakul, thank you for doing this. We're going to go on a sustainable drive. Before that, I would like you to plant this.
Absolutely.
Follow us, guys. So Rakul, this is our third shoot. First time we did in a studio, another flashlight. Second time it was in Zoom and COVID.
Oh yes.
Third time we were literally on the road. So how have you been?
I have been fantastic. We've seen it all.
Yes.
From like studios to COVID shoots to now finally good to be back on the roads and doing
Correct.
this.
So tell me, where should I take you for this drive? Because this Volvo has inbuilt navigation.
Oh wow.
So,
So
any
let's
place?
drive to Bandra.
Bandra, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Believe, it says.
You know, the issue is all about sustainability. You know,
Yeah.
even this car is all about sustainability because this has got no leather.
Right.
It's leather free and it's an electric car. What has been your experience with electric cars? Have you ever driven an electric car before?
You know, I drove briefly,
Uh-huh.
but yes, I do want to make my next buy as an electric one because I just feel that we all need to
Do our
be a
bit.
little, yes, and be a little more responsible towards the planet.
Uh-huh.
And you know, sustainability starts from smallest of the things. So I'm not saying everyone should buy an electric car, but whoever can and has the ability to, or has the awareness,
Correct.
you know, should sort of make that switch. So yes, that's going to be my next switch also.
Let me give you a small demo of this electric car. Are you ready?
Yes, ready? Oh wow! Woo!
So instant
Wow.
torque, 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds.
Oh my god!
Everything is shaken up. All the cameras are moving.
Oh
But
wow!
that's what electric car is. Actually fun, you know.
That's fun.
Yeah. Silent.
I think
beast
what
we
we
say.
need to do is just have more electric charging stations, and I think a lot of people would switch to electric.
Correct. You are spot on
Yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
think the infrastructure is coming up. But tell me, if you have to go on a road trip with this Volvo XC40 Recharge, which has a WLTP range of 418 kilometers, where would you go and who do you take? 3 people.
3 people, I'd drive to Goa,
Okay.
or I would drive once that expressway of Delhi to Bombay is ready. You know, you're going to be able to reach Bombay in like 10 hours from Delhi. For
Hmm.
that, 3 people. There's a group that I have, my closest group
Okay.
called the Spark.
Spark.
Yeah, we're 5 people in the group, so it's Spark. So I would take the entire Spark with me.
Nice. So you guys have named your group something.
Yeah, we're sparks in each other's lives.
That's amazing. And how do you maintain your healthy work life so as to say balance, you know, because
You know,
such
I
busy
think it's
shoots-
all about what your priorities are.
Correct.
I mean, I choose a healthy lifestyle. For me, it's a way of life. It's not something that I take pressure for.
Mhm.
In fact, on the contrary, if I don't find time for myself, whether it's my workout or my little peace with myself, I am very edgy as a person then. You know, so I think it's a way of life for me, and yeah, you can always find time for things that you love and you prioritize.
And tips for staying motivated?
Find your passion.
Correct.
If you find your passion in the work that you do, you'll not need tips to get motivated.
Surprisingly, this is something that I've heard from most of the people who have done something good in their life. Follow your passion.
No, absolutely. You know, my Twitter header says, build a life you don't need a vacation from. Because if you think that,
Wow,
oh my
what a
god,
header
it's
it
a
is,
Monday. Yeah.
Super.
I mean, when people say, when do you take a break? I'm like, bro, if I take a break, I get like angsty. I love my work. I want to go to shoot every day. I want to be in front of camera every day. And that's my sanity. So I always say, the more hectic I am, the more saner I am.
And tell me something, you also read books?
I do.
There are some books that you have read. You want to
So I am more of a spiritual reading sort of a person, you know. So one of my all-time favorite books is The Power of Now.
Power of Now, yes.
Yeah, and I
By
think
Eckhart
Tolle.
Tolle.
Yes.
I can never get
Yes,
pronunciation right.
that one. Then so those are the kind of books I read. Then there's Cosmic Consciousness, which is a beautiful book.
We are doing this sustainable drive because whatever you're wearing is all sustainable. by the way.
Absolutely sustainable. Yeah,
This fabric is sustainable. The
this
slippers that
jacket-
you're wearing is.
Slippers are sustainable, though people can't see them.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
can put my foot up. But yeah, this jacket is absolutely sustainable.
But what do you really believe in sustainability? Like we have discussed this overall.
You know, it's a very, I'm also new to it. I'll be very honest that yes, this is a conversation which we must have more often. because I think this switch I'm also consciously started making. I've started making in the last 2-3 years. Ever since COVID struck the planet,
Correct.
you saw how within 2 months of lockdown, everything was the air was more cleaner.
Correct.
And the environment was green, and then we're back to that. We're back to square one, and there's no future. I mean, we're not left with water. The climate change is extreme. Antarctic is melting. There's summer in the Arctic region. It's just insane. And for our future generations, if we can't do this much, then we don't deserve to live, or we don't deserve to be called human. So I'm not saying that we can make a complete switch, because for that
we can make a beginning.
We can start. I'm saying don't use single-use plastic. At home. So I've stopped doing that. Use only glass bottles. When you go to cafes, like when you go to restaurants, I refuse to get my plate changed.
So you get it served.
So because more water. That one
small
jug of water is not going to make a difference. But imagine if all of us start doing that, and the footfall of restaurants and the food industry is so huge. And I refuse it, and I refuse it even in fine dining areas. That no, I'm good with my plate. मैंने ही तो खाया यार. मतलब what is this? Do we change our plates at home? So conserve water. Don't keep it running when you're not using it, or try and avoid leather as much as you can.
That's what you call leather free coffee.
Yeah, leather free coffee.
No.
I stopped buying leather bags.
Yes.
So the bag that I use right now is actually a sustainable bag from LV.
Rakul, you have a big army of 23 million subscribers on Instagram.
Right.
Tell us, all these people watching, who are dying hard to get to double digit. How do you do that?
I think I'm extremely thankful to all those 23 million people who have given me love and been my great pillars of support, like ever since I started my journey, because my journey's been of someone who had no clue what the industry is
You
like.
came from Gurgaon, then
nothing, from army background, somebody who didn't know about films at all. Did my first film, actually Yariya was my first film, and then I started Telugu, and I just started shooting for it right after I shot Yariya, but it released before.
Okay.
So before I knew, I had more films there, but having said that, whether it was the
But
South
you always wanted to be an actress?
Always wanted to be an actor.
So that was clear.
Yeah, to an extent that I thought I'm definitely going to give it a try, and I've given myself 2 years, because I'm someone who cannot do a job half-baked. I was 18 when I started modeling, right out of school. And within a month of my pictures being shot and they were circulated, someone saw my pictures. It was a Kannada team, and they called my dad and they said, we want to cast her in a film. Now till that point, I was this girl who wanted to be in films, but I didn't know how, and I was still doing my education. I was in first year of college doing maths. Yeah, I'm a mathematics graduate. So I refused, and also I had no idea that there was a South Indian industry. I had no idea of how what the scale was. So I said, नहीं मैं तो हिंदी करूँगी, मैं South नहीं करूँगी, because what do you know, यार, Delhi girl, 18-year-old kid. So my dad then refused, and then they called him back again, and they said that we've seen her date of birth and she's going to be a big star one day.
Oh, some Jyotish.
Yeah, they had checked somewhere.
Oh my God, this is
and I was like, really? I mean, okay. But the reason I did that film was for pocket money, because my pocket money was 2,000 a month, and I thought I'll make money in lakhs. And I'll buy a car. I'll be the first one of my friends to buy a car. That was my obsession. So now you know how much of a car lover I am. So this is when I was 18 years old, and then I fell short of attendance in college. So I decided that I'm going to continue modeling, finish my college, do Miss India, and then move to Bombay.
So you did Miss India?
So I kept modeling in college. I did Miss India in 2011. I won Miss India People's Choice. Then I moved to Bombay when I was 20. Started auditioning, the same thing, standing in Aramnagar queues, trying to reach out people.
Gone through the grind.
The grind, driving from, I used to live in Kandivali, so I would drive from Kandivali to Bandra or Andheri every single day as a routine, whether I have meetings or not.
Okay.
In a hope that I would crack something. Because I would work out in Bandra. So I would have like all sorts of clothes in my car. Ek formal hai, ek Indian hai, ek ye hai, you know, whoever calls you. And then I cracked Yariya. And 4 days after I finished shooting for Yariya is when I started shooting for my first Telugu film, which was coming from a lot of offers that I was getting because that first Kannada had released.
Acha.
So that Telugu film.
Then things move on.
Yeah, then that Telugu film became that released 3 months before Yariya released, and it became a big hit.
Correct.
And before I knew, I just signed like a lot of other films, 3-4 films at the same time, and then the journey there began. And then I just was this person who believed that, you know, let me be a star in one place than a struggler in the other.
And you focus on Telugu.
And then I focused on Telugu films. Still, I felt that okay, I've worked with everyone, and this is an experience I've had and I cherish, and it's time to make the play field larger.
Right.
You know, play on a larger field. Because you also need to grow, right? Constantly, I need something new. So I'd worked with everyone. You know, people know them today, like whether it's Allu Arjun, Mahesh Babu, Sukumar sir as a director, NTR, Karthi, Surya. So I've worked with everyone, and then I was like, okay, now maybe I can take some time off, even if I'm away for a year.
And come back.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like I need.
And now you can switch industry.
Now I can switch industries. So now I'm enjoying this new because it's also interesting for me, right?
Rakul, how do you think this entertainment industry is going towards sustainability? What are they doing?
I think everyone's making efforts. To start with, the plastic bottles on sets are not being used now. So everyone's given their name bottles, recyclable bottles.
What's your inspiration? Who do you look up to?
My dad is my inspiration because he's a very solid man, and it's very few men are that solid. I think these days, I mean, I see very few men.
But tell me something. Any quotes or phrases that sometimes you just have which really pep you up?
Oh yeah, there's
Tell
a
me
quote in my living room which says, "People who tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed."
Nice. And we just
And it's in my
planted a
living
seed.
room. Yes, we just planted a seed, and this is right in my living room. So it's something that I see every time I'm eating my meal on the dining. I can see that quote, and it's a
nice
real
quote.
motivator.
So Rakul, I'm sure you must be getting told a lot. Why don't you just go to your DMs and messages?
If I start looking at my messages every day, there'll be trolls every day.
But tell me something you just pick it up.
Okay, let me just go and
Yeah.
see. Okay, so I just opened my last picture's comments.
Let's see who the lucky person is.
There is somebody who's a girl actually,
Okay.
and called Avneet. Let me say, because girls can say such things. पोस्ट डालना तो बहाना है, अपना जिस्म सबको दिखाना है. And then
उसमें भी लोगों ने कमेंट किया होगा.
उसपे भी लोगों ने comment किया है. It's just insane as to how much hatred people have.
And any messages for those fans?
The hatred ones?
Yes.
But I would just say, may God be really, really nice to you, and may you have, may you get everything that you desired, so that your frustration really ends. And I hope you all start living life and spreading smiles.
Super.
Yeah.
Now, any parting words for all our subscribers? Been a wonderful drive. Now we are stuck in traffic. I think we'll have to call it off. But
yeah, it's thank you so much for all of you who've supported me and who've given me love, and thank you for everyone who loves watching exhibit interviews, and this whoever's enjoyed this car drive. And yeah, that's all. I mean, and yes, because our issue is about sustainability, I'd like to say that all of you should take small steps towards a sustainable self, towards a sustainable nation, and make small changes.
and to the cameras which shooting this, she has an important message which she told me, because we ran out of battery because it was getting cleared out. The camera has to come with the camera which we can mount here.
Yeah, because the camera was getting heated up. I said, why don't we make a camera that uses this sun's
Solar.
energy, the solar energy,
To get the power.
to get the power on. So we'll not have an issue.
Ideas can come from anywhere. Thank you.
Yeah,
Rakul.
I mean, I should have copyrighted this idea.
See you guys in the next one. If you like this, don't forget to like, share and comment. Good ones only. Feel free to comment anything.
Yes. I think sustainability and positivity, these are two things we need.
That's what we need.